So here is the contents of the streaming kit for 2025. Now, this all pivots around a single laptop setup. In some situations, I may use a second laptop, and that second laptop would normally be the Race Director laptop, and it would sit external to this case. So, I mean, the laptop's the obvious part, so we'll remove that, and it's more about covering what are the accessories inside there. Now, for a couple of years, I've been into having a laptop tray in there, a stand, and I would wiggle this up, have it roughly flush with the laptop, and then obviously you have everything stuck into it on the side. I somewhat recently, bought a laptop with a cooling fan built in, but when I did some tests, it didn't seem to really help much with the cooling of the temperature at all, but I've stuck with it because it seems like it couldn't be worse than one without cooling. I'm led to believe there is a cooling laptop tray out there that does really work, that has this full suction fan around it, but it's a pretty expensive one, and I'm a lot about that life for some things. Now, without that, you can see there's a lot more smaller little different things going on there. So I'm just going to talk through and identify each of the components quickly, and then we'll probably talk through them quickly. So for all my audio, I use a USB mixer. This is one that actually operates like a USB sound device as well, so it allows music to be played out of it, as well as control the microphone inputs independently of that. Really useful to have to get your audio right for an event, and it allows me to plug into a variety of PA systems and use a variety of other microphones as well. Just above it, we've got a USB-C screen. I've historically carried around 24-inch old monitors, and I've even broken a few. And I got kind of sick of doing that. So this is a small 15-inch screen, and it's in like a giant tablet little clamp holder. And the whole point of this is just to, get something smaller that only uses USB-C power. It's a lot better form factor for something that I'm trying to consolidate and make smaller. Moving across to that, this is just a small little box that keeps the antenna for the RF Explorer that I have situated over here. I'll put this up here in a bracket, and then normally point that at the starting blocks. Moving around just below, 4G modem. This is just a classic TP-Link with a SIM card in it. It's a 4-port modem, but I've obviously, as you can see, this is connected to a 10-port switch because I have more networking needs these days than what this modem provides. So I've recently gone to a 10-port PoE switch. I had a 5-port before, but for big events, we'd run out and we'd have to add another switch as well, and that was just getting a bit bothersome. So I thought, make it 10, and that makes the setup a little bit more simpler. The reason for the PoE network switch is one, for a cable to connect it to the 4G modem. There's a cable to connect this to my laptop when it's housed and ported in there, and I'll have 2 network cables going to the track and the pit cam, which support NDI. So they're not a USB camera; they'll be on the network, and these cables to this little dongle to the camera on a tripod somewhere else. These can be on quite far cables, but this is where they connect in there. The 8-way timing system will also be connected in here as well, and from time to time, Dave may even also plug in Raspberry Pis and other things to control LEDs if we're doing a real fancy event that has that sort of stuff going on. Below that is the power strip, 12-port, and it pretty much is always full. There's a lot going on in there. We've got USB power adapters. We've got 12-volt ones for the modem, for the laptop, for all the devices in here, and there's even a power extension cube out there for external charging, or I'll use it to even plug and power up the ground stations such as the Clearview or the HD0 Event RX. Over to the right of this down here is the USB capture card. So this is where the ground station plugs into, and that brings in the FPV video feeds for all the drone videos. Quickly before I forget about it, moving up this is just a wireless microphone receiver up there. It might be a bit out of frame, but this plugs in just to the audio mixer, so I've got a wireless microphone and a wired microphone in there. Adding a third microphone, not really possible without expanding this out further, but that's very rare that we need that. Back down here, difficult to see. In the corner, I've got a few small gadgets, and these are small little quality of life things. I'll talk about this one in the corner first. This is just a simple HDMI splitter. The laptop typically has a HDMI out, so I make sure there's a HDMI cable that goes into the splitter, so that way I can have a small screen here, but then also I can then daisy chain that out to other TVs, other extensions, and at any big event I'll say, yep, plug into here, and they can use that to tether out to a TV truck maybe, or just other screens in the pits or anything else, or maybe another screen that someone's brought that they want to put on their table in the pits. Now, for the monitor that I'll have here, this is just a simple 2-way splitter, and I have this selecting between 2 different HDMI inputs. So what this selects between 2 different things is, one is the raw DVR of the ground station, which can be handy sometimes from a troubleshooting perspective. So, or also toggle between what the TV sees or what the stream will see. So I'll have a screen over here that I haven't got unpacked. That'll show exactly what the stream sees at all times, and I can also toggle that with the button to basically switch to what the raw ground station feeds are if I need to troubleshoot. Maybe a Clearview's lost its channel, or maybe something's felt it's not set in the right channel. I need to look at what the raw DVR is without having to bother trackside and mess around with the devices in there, which is, you know, pretty handy to have. There's some power adapters down there for the various things, whether it be the HDMI splitter or the microphone, and then you've got simply a USB Ethernet converter for the laptop, and then also the USB-C hub. The laptop is filled. Every port is filled in the laptop. It has 3, 4 USB ports. Yeah, every single slot is filled in this laptop. So, and these all hang around just loosely in there. The reason why this is in a case is that it's modular. I can take bits out, put bits in. I can also close this up, and I could freight this anywhere and open up and use it, and it just uses one power cable to power the whole thing. So, I mean, I do dream of a day where I probably could have this in a truck or a trailer and it's more hard mounted, but at least in this configuration, I could wrap this up and freight it down across the country and then arrive there with just a laptop, plug this in and do an event pretty much anywhere else in the country or even potentially the world. External to this that we're not showing is, you know, stuff that I'll tuck in there is a little remote control for the track and pit camera. Pretty handy to have. The Stream Deck, I've upgraded to the 32 button one, and this is just the main heart of driving the stream with start race, finish race, and all those other buttons in there. The only things you don't see in here will be the ground stations. I'll cover those in another video about what they are and what's inside them. But for the most part, that is the entire streaming kit that makes all the magic happen that you see on YouTube, other than the parts themselves that bring the heat, bring the action, and all the fun stuff there. Okay, that's everything. I hope you enjoyed seeing this video and getting some ideas about how maybe you can expand extra equipment in yours. But yeah, I'd love to see if you have any tips or tricks for me to try out. I'd love to hear them in the comments. All right, thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.